You know that the BJP has undertaken a movement all over the country to awake the people about the level of corruption and the level of the damage which has been done by this UPA government. The changing of the government in democracy is a usual process. But one thing which should remain intact is the integrity of the government towards the establishment and towards all the arms of democracy. Unfortunately, this UPA government, under the leadership of Dr. Manmohan Singh, has not only crossed all the limits of corruption, done the corruption in such a way that has become all-pervasive. Three examples by which you can understand the gravity of the situation. You remember that for the first time when CAG, that is the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, in its report has indicted the government. At that time, the government tried to undermine the authority of CAG. I would like to remind that on 30th of September 2012, Supreme Court on giving a judgment on CAG had said that CAG is not just a munim, means it's not just an accountant. They are having all the authority to analyze in what way the resources of the country are being used. Then, after the CAG report, when the matter came to the Parliament, you remember in the 2G spectrum case in 2010, Prime Minister himself offered to come before the PAC, that is the Public Account Committee, when technically it was not possible. One complete session was washed out in July 2010 on the issue of JPC, Joint Parliamentary Committee formation on 2G. When the actual time came and the JPC members asked the Prime Minister to appear before the JPC, he refused. Can you understand that the Prime Minister of the country saying something for a parliamentary committee and withdrawing after that? And now most recent, on the issue of the affidavit filed by CBI in the Supreme Court, at the first instance, government said that they will not show it to any government or executive authority. One point which is to be kept in mind, that why Supreme Court of India has asked the government to give an affidavit that they will not show this to any political executive. It means the Supreme Court was having an apprehension in the mind. And finally it came true. So in my opinion, the CAG, which was a part of the executive, has been undermined by the government. Then the parliamentary committees like the PAC and JPC, which is the part of the legislative, has been undermined by the government. And finally, government tried to infringe in the judicial process. As we all know, that the democracy is having three pillars, the executive, judiciary and legislative, and this government has tried to undermine the authority of all the three pillars of the democracy. So, you people can understand the manner in which the subversion has been done. Any government's commitment to the judiciary is the core of democracy, and unfortunately this government has also tried to infringe the judicial process. 3-4 days back, our party president Sri Rajnath Singh has raised this issue and asked the Congress government for introspection. But you look, just yesterday or day before yesterday, a senior general secretary of Congress party, who is considered very close to the Congress vice president, has made an objectionable, uncalled for remarks over the judiciary, over the Supreme Court. It means the manner in which the Congress is trying to subvert the institutions. They are not leaving even the highest and most respected institutions of the land. And this also shows the level of arrogance which the Congress party is having, when they are not even sparing the Supreme Court of India, just to cover up their corruption. So, my point is not the corruption. When the corruption occurs, what is to be done? A proper, free and fair inquiry is to be done. If there is a cloud over inquiry, then the person goes to court, a proper judicial process is to be done. This government is failed on the point of corruption, but also trying to infringe the investigation and also trying to infringe the judicial process. So the case is different. Previously, there were certain governments at the center which were blamed of having corruption up to the level of Prime Minister, whether it was the government of late Shri Rajiv Gandhi or late Shri Narasimha Rao. But this government has brought a new paradigm to demolishing the structure or demolishing the entire establishment of India. The BJP's point is that we are concerned about demolition of the entire structure of the state. It is not just the matter of corruption of one people, two people, or one ministry or two ministry. It is the all infringing this process in which they are damaging all sort of apparatuses, all sort of institutions, and our main concern is how the faith of people can be restored. Programs which is being aired by the publicity department of the government. I would like to bring in your notice that all the wrong deeds which the government has done in the last 3 or 4 years, in order to cover up, they are spending the massive amount of the public exchequer on their publicity. From 2009 to 2012, in all the print media and the audiovisual media, they have spent around 1,550 crore rupees on their publicity. And we are of the firm opinion, despite all this publicity, the people of India cannot be hoodwinked. Lastly, I would like to say, then in the last Lok Sabha election of 2009, Andhra Pradesh has given the maximum strength to the Congress party government. Unfortunately, and more to the agony of the people of Andhra Pradesh, this government of Andhra Pradesh has worked exactly in tune with the Congress government at center, and it has also broken all the records of corruption. 6 ministers are already implicated. Your home minister is just being charge sheeted by the CBI court. But I hope that in the coming Lok Sabha election of 2014, the people of Andhra Pradesh will give full support to subvert this corrupt government at center, and with full strength, they will bring the BJP-led NDA government at the center. BJP is always in favor of a free and fair investigation and a proper authority to be given to CBI. Position in the political spectrum for Andhra Pradesh is not as per our expectations, but as I have already told, we are going all over the country and we have come here to awaken the people on the corrupt practices of both the Congress government at the center and the Congress government at the state. So we hope that the people will rise and support us in the next government. देखिए, इस कांग्रेस सरकार के सामने विश्वसनीयता का इतना बड़ा संकट पैदा कर दिया है कि जब इस सरकार के द्वारा सर्वोच्च न्यायालय में दी गई रिपोर्ट के इन्फ्रिंजमेंट में कानून मंत्रालय और प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय का सीधा हस्तक्षेप हो, तो आप ये समझ सकते हैं कि इस सरकार में किसी की क्रेडिबिलिटी क्या रह गई है। इसलिए जो उन्होंने नियम बनाया है उसको लेकर हमारे मन में थोड़ा संदेह है। हमारा मानना यह है कि कानून मंत्री का जो इस्तीफा दिया गया है वो मुख्य मुद्दे से ध्यान हटाने के प्रयास के लिए दिया गया है, और प्रधानमंत्री महोदय जो कि स्वयं में कानून मंत्री भी थे उस कालखंड में, वो अपनी जिम्मेदारी से बच नहीं सकते। और एक बिंदु और भी है कि तेलंगाना का विषय जो कि आंध्र प्रदेश के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, which is a very important issue for Andhra Pradesh. BJP is firmly committed for the formation of the state of Telangana. We were the first party which has passed our resolution in 1997, and this issue was first at the national level raised by our national president in 2006 and subsequently by Advani ji before the 2009 Lok Sabha election. We are having the firm commitment that if we get the chance to form a government at the center, then the Telangana state will be formed. It is very ironical that these type of questions are being raised when in your own state, the home ministers who are charge sheeted are still functioning as ministers, and rather than the government is trying its level best to protect them, and not only the Congress party, one of their key allies, that is the Samajwadi Party of Uttar Pradesh, is withdrawing the cases against the criminal elements, and not only the criminal elements, they have withdrawn the cases against those persons who are accused of terrorism. In that backdrop, if these type of questions are raised, I am surprised.